Have you ever just stared at a blank page, knowing you have to write something, but the words just aren't there? Or maybe you've looked at a to-do list that feels like it's mocking you because you have no idea where to even begin. Well, that feeling of being completely frozen, totally stuck, that's what we're going to unpack today. We're going to look at why it happens, and way more importantly, how to finally break free.
Okay, first things first, and I really want you to let this sink in. You're not lazy. Seriously, that feeling of being stuck, that inability to just start, it is not some kind of character flaw. It's something else entirely. It's a very common mental pattern, and it even has a name.
And you know, it's not just frustrating, it is profoundly exhausting. It's like you're sprinting on a treadmill, putting in all this mental effort, but you're not moving forward one single inch. Every single task, no matter how small it is, feels like you're trying to climb a wall made of wet glass. You're burning all this energy, but you're just spinning your wheels.
So this feeling, it has a name, and it's not procrastination. It's something we call analysis paralysis. And it's a very common trap that our brains fall into when we're faced with just too many choices or a whole lot of uncertainty.
This right here is the key insight. Your brain is literally stuck in a loop. Think of it like a computer that's frozen because it's trying to process way too much information all at once. It's not that you're avoiding the task, it's that your brain is so busy trying to weigh every single possible outcome that it just can't move forward. Imagine you're standing in front of two doors, door A or door B. It should be a pretty simple choice, right? But instead of just picking one and going, you find yourself completely frozen. You can't move. And it's not that you're obsessed with finding the perfect door, it's that you are terrified of choosing the wrong one.
And that's when the internal flowchart kicks in. Okay, if I do this, then this might happen. And if that happens, what will people think? And then I'll feel terrible. Your brain is just desperately trying to plan 10 steps ahead into a fog it can't possibly see through.
And that pretty much sums up the whole problem, doesn't it? All that frantic planning, all that calculation, it just burns up every last drop of your mental energy. So by the time you're actually supposed to do the thing, you're already wiped out from just thinking about it.
So how in the world do we break out of this cycle? Well, it's not about thinking harder, it's about thinking differently. We actually need to flip the script on how we approach things. And it all starts with one simple but really powerful idea.
You know, we're so often told that we need to have everything figured out before we can start, that we need this perfect, flawless plan. But what if we've had it completely backward this whole time? What if, instead of waiting for clarity to take action, we need to take action to find clarity? That is the solution. Action before clarity.
Let that one really land. Action isn't the prize you get for perfect planning. No, action is the tool you use to create the plan. See, clarity doesn't come from just thinking harder in a quiet room. It comes from moving forward, even in a small way, and just seeing what happens next. Now, this isn't just some nice-sounding self-help idea. It's actually backed by science. There's a really fascinating psychological principle that explains exactly why taking action, even a tiny little one, is so incredibly powerful for our minds. It's called the Zeigarnik effect. And think of it like this. When you start a task, your brain opens up a new tab in your mental web browser. And that tab stays open. It just sits there, nagging you, using up your mental energy, creating this low-level tension until you close it by finishing the task. It's the exact same reason why cliffhangers on TV shows work so well.
And that nagging feeling? That's your secret weapon. That's your leverage. You can use your brain's natural dislike for these open loops to just gently pull you forward. By simply starting, you create this productive mental itch that your brain desperately wants to scratch.
So the moment you take one tiny little action, you basically hijack the system. You shift your brain out of that endless spinning analysis mode, and you click it over into completion mode. Its focus is no longer on what if, but on finishing what's already been started. Okay, so let's get practical. This is where all that theory becomes a tool you can actually use. Here's a super simple technique to break that cycle of overthinking and get back in the driver's seat. I call it the mental reset.
It really all boils down to the number 3. Just 3 simple steps.
And it only takes 3 minutes of your time. This is not some huge, overwhelming commitment. It's a quick, easy way to reset your brain and get yourself back on track.
So here they are, the 3 steps. First, you're going to choose one small, messy action. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be something. Second, set a timer for 2 minutes, and that's it.
Just 2. And third, and this part is absolutely critical, you have to stop when the timer goes off. Now, let's break each of those down. Step 1 is all about choosing a messy action. This means it needs to be small, imperfect, and almost laughably easy. The goal here is not to finish. The goal is simply to start. So don't try to write the whole report. Just open a new document and type a title. Don't try to clean the entire kitchen, just put one dirty mug in the dishwasher.
And step 3 is maybe the most important part of this whole thing. You must stop when that 2-minute timer goes off. Even if you suddenly feel this huge surge of motivation to keep going, you stop. This is how you retrain your brain. You're teaching it that starting something isn't this scary, high-pressure contract to finish it all at once. And that makes the next start so much easier. So, as we wrap things up here, let's bring it all back to one single, gentle call to action that you can take with you right now.
Please remember, you don't have to solve your entire life today. You don't need to stop overthinking forever. All you need to do right now is focus on the very next simple step. The aim here is just a little bit of progress, not perfection.
So what is your one messy action? What's the smallest possible step you can take right now to open that mental loop and shift your brain from planning to doing? That's it. That is your only challenge for today. Just take that step. You're already on your way.